Okay, hello everyone, welcome to today's class. I am sorry that I couldn't be with you guys, but I've been having internet problems since yesterday, and today I don't have internet. So let's get started with some vocabulary, okay? Okay, so phones. Phones have been changing throughout the time, right? And I think we've been part of this change, and we've been using like different types of phones, right? For example, my mom, her first phone was like the second one, and then from that she changed to what we call cacahuatitos. Then she stayed a lot of time using those cacahuatitos, and now she has a smartphone, but she has like maybe 2 years with it because she didn't want to change her phone. She loved her cacahuatito. Okay, and TVs. TVs have also changed, right? I remember my grandma, she told me they would listen to novellas, so they didn't even have a TV, it was like a radio, and they would listen to it together, like with her mom and sisters, and even her dad sometimes. So yeah, that's pretty nice. And then my dad, when he was a kid here in Agualulco, in his like neighborhood, only one person had a TV, so they would all go there, like all of the friends. So, and they would like buy some popcorn, and they would all watch like a movie or whatever was on TV. But yeah, it was only like one person in the whole block. So this lady had all of the kids over at her house to watch something on the TV. So yeah, now we all just like share a Netflix account or something. Okay, and games. I remember like when I was younger, I used to go outside and play hide and seek or tag or just whatever was like fun, because sometimes it was like, for example, more at night when it was dark, we used to like love to play hide and seek because it was easier to hide. Or in the day we would play tag or freeze tag, which is like congelados, like the same thing. And like rainy days, like right now, or at least yesterday, it was raining here, I think also in Guadalajara. So yeah, it was raining, so it would be a good day to play canicas. But yeah, but nowadays I like sometimes go to the park, and I see kids like sometimes like they play like maybe soccer or something, like more like a sport, and after they play they just sit and on their phones they play with each other. For example, there was a time where there was like this Mario kart game. Was like everyone was playing it. I think they don't play it anymore. I think the video games are like taking over these kids. Okay, then we have the typewriter. I remember in middle school, in la secundaria, teníamos los talleres, and my mom would say she had something about like typing, and my sister was like, "Oh, I have it too. We use the computers, blah blah blah." And she was like, "Why you use the computers? We actually use like the typewriter or notebooks." And my sister was like, "No, now we use the computers." And it was taquimanografía or something like that. I wasn't in it, so I don't really remember the name. But yeah, I was like, my mom used to use the actual typewriter, and now they only use like the computer, not even the notebook. I think they use the notebook like for the first month, where they would draw like lines so they can make as straight as they can, or circles, and yeah. But yeah, it's way different. Okay, and we also have the cameras, right? What I was thinking about the cameras of the pictures too, like for example, with all of these cameras we had like the physical pictures, right? And now do use these newer cameras, but more for like special events, right? Before the one that was before this one, the first like digital ones, I remember my mom, my aunts, and everyone, even my grandma had them, and they would take a lot of pictures, and we would either go to like a Walmart or a Kodak to print them. And also we have like a lot of albums. At least my mom, she has like at least 6 big albums with the pictures. Or also a little bit after that, we would connect the camera to the TV and we would watch the pictures. For example, I have an aunt. She still has one of these cameras. She takes it with her everywhere because she loves taking pictures, but now she doesn't print them. She just passes them to the TV so we can watch them all together. Like when she likes to go to Ensenada with her husband's family or wherever she goes, and she'll just share them. And she doesn't print them out anymore. She just makes a new file on her computer. And now we actually have our camera in our phone. We take pictures, we save them, but sometimes we forget they are there, right? Like maybe we'll share 1 or 2 with the family, and then we'll just save them for someday. Okay. So yes, that was a vocabulary. Okay. Let's see. Okay, this is an example of novellas. Okay, I'm going to read it and you can read along, okay? My grandmother used to listen to novellas on the radio. When I was little, we used to watch novellas mainly in Televisa. Now I watch series on Netflix or HBO. So we have used to. Used to. And what comes after used to? The verb. The verb comes after used to, and like always or most of the sentences, we have the subject before. For example, here it's my grandmother, here it's we. Perfect. So like I was telling you, she told me she listened to the radio novelas here. And this is one of the ones like, well, I don't remember exactly like the whole drama, but I remember that we used to play this maybe while we were eating something, or my grandma was in the kitchen and we were in the living room, but we couldn't change it because she was watching or hearing it mainly while she was doing something else. Or when something happened, we're like, mira, mira, and so she can like actually see it when something interesting was happening. Okay. So on our free time, my sister and I used to play dolls all the time. We used to make cookies. Now I make the cookies and she eats them. So yeah, before she used to actually like making cookies, but it was because we bought the ones that it was already made, like la masa ya estaba hecha, nomás era hacer las bolitas y ponerlas en el horno. But now I actually like to make them from zero, from scratch. And she says it's too much time, so she doesn't help me as much. Maybe she'll help me like make something, but not everything. Yeah, so she rather likes to eat them. Okay, so having more fun. My dad used to go to the river and swim with his friends. Now it is too dirty. We can't go. So here in Agualulco, there's a like kind of like a river. I think it's the same one from Ameca, but I'm not 100% sure. But they used to go there and like go swimming or go get water for the house and everything. But now it's like really dirty, and it's not safe to go in there. So like you can go, but you can't. It's really small, and like there's a park next to it. So yeah, you could go to the park and see the river, but not actually like go in. Okay, So, communication. Yes. My mom didn't used to have a smartphone because she didn't like them. She used to only use a computer. Now she has a smartphone. So yes, she had this little phone I was telling you about a little bit ago, and she would have the computer to go like on maybe YouTube, or sometimes she would use her Facebook on the computer. But so that's why she was like, no, I want my phone for calling you guys and receiving calls, and that's all I need it for. And she would use the computer for whatever she needed, whatever else she needed. But now she has a smartphone. She doesn't even use the computer anymore, and she's always using YouTube, WhatsApp, even TikTok now. So yeah, she changed to a smartphone. Okay, so here we have a negative sentence. Didn't used to. So can you see the main difference between didn't used to and used to? Look at use. Here we don't use the D, right? Because we already know we're talking about the past with didn't used to. And here, well, used to is the one that is telling us we are talking about the past. Okay, perfect. Let's see the next one. Okay, so as you can see, we have here the subject, I, he, she, it, they, we, you. And we have used to and didn't used to, which we already saw in the previous slide. And it doesn't change for like other ones. Remember, like watched or watching, which would change with some of them, or like the verb to be that changes. No, it stays the same for all of them. So we can say, I used to play hide and seek. She used to play hide and seek. They used to play hide and seek. Or he didn't used to use a horse to travel. He didn't used to listen to novellas. We didn't used to watch movies. So we have here used to or a negative, and we have the complement, right? Which always after used to or didn't used to, we have the verb and the complement. Okay. So now I am going to read these, and while I read it, you can choose the correct answer, okay? We will have 10 of these examples, and you can answer as we are reading. So for the first one, I blank board games with my cousin. So used to play, or used to play. Okay, 3, 2, 1. I hope you have your answers. If you picked B, you are correct. Okay, so number 2. She blank the bus to work. Didn't used to take, or didn't to take. Okay, think about it. 3, 2, 1. Let's see the answer. Didn't used to take. So remember, in negative, the used to is only used to. Didn't is the one that is telling us we're talking about the past. Okay. Let's see the next one. We blank big phones. So what do you think? To have, used to have, or used to have? Let's see the answer. Remember, you have to answer before me, okay? 3, 2, 1. If you picked C, you are correct, okay? Number 4, they blank to the river. Used to walked, walk used, or used to walk? What do you think? 3, 2, 1, C. If you pick C, you are correct. Okay, so number 5, he blank a big TV in the living room. Uses to have, used to have, used to have. What do you think? Okay, 3, 2, 1. C. We have a lot of C's. Let's see the next one. Number 6. I blank the same movie all day. Used to watch, didn't to watch. What do you think? 3, 2, 1. B. So if you chose B, it is correct. So we have 7 and 8. Number 7. We blank my grandmother on a public phone. A. Used to call. B. Used to call. Or C. Used call. What do you think? 3, 2, 1. If you picked A, that is correct. Used to call. Okay, number 8. They blank send information through fax. Used to, or used. Okay, what do you think? 3, 2, 1. A. A is the correct one. So yeah, I think fax, they like came out, we used them, and then they went away really fast, right? We didn't use them as much. Because I remember one of my aunts used to have one, and we would go to her house to use the fax. But yeah, I don't remember we using it a lot of, like, a long time. It was only for a short period of time. Okay, so we have our last two. She blank stories on a typewriter. Used to, or used to write. What do you think? See, 3, 2, 1. Used to write. So it would be she used to write stories on a typewriter. Letter C. Okay, and number 10 and the last one. I blank my mom's phone, sorry, not plural, only singular. Okay. So A, uses to use, B, used to use, and C, used to. What do you think? 3, 2, 1. B. I used to use my mom's phone. So yeah, whenever I went like on a field trip to Guadalajara, she would let me use her cacahuatito so I can call her to the house when I got home, when I got to Agualuco, and she can go pick me up at the plaza. So yeah, I will get to use it a couple of times. Okay. So, how many did you get correct out of 10? Did you keep track, or did you get most of them right? I hope you did. And now it would be your turn, okay? So, let's read the instructions. So, number 1, we're going to write a paragraph about the things you used to do. Like the things you did as a, maybe you can talk about the things you used that you did as a child, as a teenager, as a young adult, or whatever age you want, okay? And we are going to write in this paragraph, it will have a total of 5 to 7 sentences, okay? So not a no listas, no oraciones en una como lista, como oración número 1, no. Va a ser un párrafo en donde en este párrafo estén las 5 o 7 oraciones, dependiendo cuánto vayan a escribir, ¿ok? So here I say you have 10 minutes. Era el plan para la clase, but you can take your time. You can pause the video and write your sentences, or you can do it as homework, okay? Because you are going to send a picture of your writing to the email or WhatsApp, okay? And here's my example, just like the beginning. Here I only have 2 sentences, but it's like the beginning of my paragraph, okay? I used to play outside with my neighbors, But now I don't. I have no. Sorry, I mixed up. So I used to play outside with my neighbors, but now I have them as friends on Facebook. I used to visit my cousins 1 or 2 times a week. Now I see them like 2 or 3 times a year. So, and that's like me talking about my childhood versus right now. You know, what things have changed, most of the things have changed, right? For example, I don't even see my cousins as much now. I actually saw one of my cousins like 2 days ago, and I haven't seen him in a while. So yeah, okay. So you get to write on your notebook this little paragraph. Remember, un parrafito. And you take a picture and you'll send it to the email or to my WhatsApp. Okay. From last homework, I did receive some in WhatsApp and on email. I haven't answered to all of you, but I've answered to a couple of you. Okay. And let's go write that paragraph. You can pause the video so you can write it, and after you finish writing it, you can take like your little break, and we will continue with the next topic. Okay, perfect. Okay, so now let's go to the next one. Oops, there's some answers. Okay, so for this one, you are going to repeat the vocabulary after me, okay? So this one, what do you think it is? I'll show you. Heat. Okay, now you repeat after me, okay? Heat. The sun heats the ice. The sun and the ice. Okay. This one's easy. What do you think it is? Boil. Boil. The stove boils the water in the pot. What about this one? This one's, I think, a tricky one. Poisoning. Poisoning. Mickey is poisoning the water. Okay, do you know what this one is? Razor blade. Razor blade. The razor blade is dangerous. Okay, so what do you think this is? Let's see. Dissolve. Dissolve. The pill dissolves in the water. In water. Let's see this one. Acid. This one we already saw in the picture, right? Acid. The acid in your stomach is strong. How about this one? What is he doing? What are we seeing? Swallow. Swallow. You must swallow your food. What about this one? Tickle. Tickle. I will tickle you. What about this one? What is the mountain doing in the water? Reflect. This is the reflect of the mountain, right? Because this is actually water. The mountain reflects on the water. What about this one? Greenhouse gases. The greenhouse gases affect the planet. Okay, So today we're going to talk about scientific facts. As you saw previously that we had scientific facts vocabulary, and we're going to use the first conditional. Okay, so this is the rule of how to write the zero conditional. Okay, so as you can see we have, let me use my pointer. Okay, see, okay, there we go. You can see we have if or when. You can pick whichever. Then we have the condition. Then we have the result. Okay, and for the condition we have the subject, and then the verb in simple present, and the same for the result. Okay, so if you heat ice, it melts. Or if you want to change it to when you heat ice, it melts. Okay, you see there's a comma after the condition. Okay, if you, if they mix bleach and alcohol, they get chloroform. Bleach and alcohol. When you burn oil, it produces greenhouse gases. So this is some oil burning, which is not going to help us. And as we already said, the zero conditional could be used to talk for when we're talking about scientific facts. Okay, so what will happen if you put sodium in water? This is the result. What do you think? It explodes. So if you combine blue and red colors, blue and red, you mix them up, what do you get? What do you get? You get purple. So yes, perfect. Okay, and we have a different way to writing zero conditional, where we change the result first and then we have the condition. Okay, and this one, you know, the previous one that had a comma, this one we don't have a comma. Okay, water becomes solid if you freeze it. We have the if over here or the when, but we have no comma. A cat conserves energy when it sleeps 13 to 14 hours a day. So yes, they are saving a lot of energy, right? We usually see cats sleeping around, so that's why. Now you know why. Okay, so condition plus result, and then result plus condition, right? We switch them around, and here we can see it. Oh, we forgot here. What are we missing here? Yes, a comma. So if you freeze water, it becomes solid. Water becomes solid if you freeze it, right? We just change them around. It's very, very easy. Okay, so it's time to practice. Okay, so for example, you are going to connect or match the first part with the second part. Okay, as you see, some of them have the condition first, some of them have the result, three of them have the result. No, only two. And you can write A1 and A, 2B, 3C, so you don't have to write them all down. Okay, I'll give you like 5 minutes. You can like pause the video, answer it, and once you have your answers you can play it again. Okay, so we're going to start with the answers. What did you guys get for number 1? D. If pandas feel tired, they fall asleep anywhere. That one's the first one. Number 2. If people don't eat or drink, eventually they die. because we can't go on with life without eating or drinking, right? Number 3, ice melts when you leave it in the sun. Yeah, because the heat gets to it, right? Number 4, what do you have for number 4? If people don't protect animals, they become extinct. And we have to protect them from other people, right? Because they sometimes are not thinking. Okay, let's go with number 5. If you swallow gum, what happens? It comes out about 40 hours later. So your stomach can dissolve it, but it takes more than 40 hours. Number 6, you get a bump if a mosquito bites you. Okay, so did you know if a mosquito bites you, it is more likely to be a female mosquito? So there's another fun fact. So if you use air conditioning wisely, you save up energy. So let's say it's like, usually, you use it at 17 degrees or maybe 16, so it can cool your house. But if we use it like at 20, which is kind of cool, I think, it's not hot, it actually saves energy because it's not working as much as if it were for 15 or 16. So there's another way to save energy. Okay, so now it's going to be your turn, which is going to be very, very easy. We are going to read some scientific facts. Number 2, make a sentence for each paragraph. We're going to write them on your notebook, and you're going to send a picture of what you wrote, okay? You have 5 minutes for each slide. I think we have 3. I will show you the first one for an example, okay? So this is a paragraph. This is a scientific fact, and this is a sentence, okay? For example, grasshoppers have ears on their stomach. Right under their wings, they have membranes that vibrate when they are hit by sound waves. So around somewhere here, or under their wings, it said, so maybe under here, they have like this special membranes which they can feel the sound wave. Like if we say hello, the sound will travel until it hit it and bounces back. Okay, so the sentence would be, if grasshoppers hear something, they feel vibrations on their stomach. See? Perfect. Okay, so we have the first 2 paragraphs. So I'll read them for you, and you can pause the video after I finish reading so you guys can make your sentences, okay? If you ever swallow a razor blade, don't panic. The human body is more capable than you think. A study published in a journal, gastrointestinal, I think, I need to check that word, endoscopy, scientists found that a razor blade dissolves after 2 hours in your stomach acid. So yes, it will dissolve after 2 hours in your stomach acid. Don't do it, it's not recommended, but it can dissolve. Okay, number 2. Bananas contain potassium, and potassium reduce that makes yellow fruit radioactive. But don't worry, you need to eat 10 million bananas in one sitting to die of banana radiation poisoning. So unless you're planning on eating 10 million bananas, don't worry, because 1 or 2 bananas, even 3 or more, won't do anything. Only if you eat up to 10 million, en una sola sentada. So yeah, you have nothing to worry about. Okay. So remember, if you have to write your sentences of these two paragraphs, okay? So if blah blah blah, you will blah blah blah. Or you will blah 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 if blah blah blah. Okay, so the second slide. Pets can be a great way to increase your chances of finding love. According to a survey in Perino, 54% of the surveyed pet owners said their pets helped them start a conversation with someone they were interested in. 2/3 of people said they were likely to date someone who owned a pet, and 1 in 3 would want to meet someone who has pictures of their pet in their online dating profile. So, if you want to find love or start dating, you should get a pet. It helps you get a date. So, the moon doesn't emit light of its own. The light from the sun's rays bounce off of the moon and reaches the earth in a matter of 1.25 seconds. This is how we get moonlight. So that's really fast, even though it comes from the sun, then to the moon, and then to us. So yeah, that's how we get the moonlight. And these are the last one. Helium is much less dense than oxygen. Usually we breathe in nitrogen and oxygen. Since helium is less dense than oxygen, the sound of our voice travels faster through vocal cords. Therefore, helium makes our voice sound weird because the sound is traveling over 2 times faster than usual. So this is why our voice changes when we have helium, from the balloon. Okay, the last one. Rats are more dynamic than we think. They have the ability to laugh when tickled. A video from National Geographic shows that rats respond positively to tickling, and they even chase after the researcher's hand in a playful manner. So yeah, rats are always sadly being tested, and they said, what if we tickle them? They start tickling them, and eventually they saw that they will laugh and they will actually try to play. So that's pretty interesting. So yeah, that was the last one. So 6 in total, and you would have to make a sentence like this based on the paragraph, okay? You have to send this in a picture. You can send it through WhatsApp or through my email. I will send the instructions later once you guys received the video, okay? See you guys next time.